Hello dancers and welcome to my summer session here on my porch. I should call it Ballet on the Bluff because right out there's the ocean. I'm sitting up on top of the bluff. It's just gorgeous. So today there may be some wind noise because we are outside after all, but I hope it will go smoothly. And this is a more casual thing than my usual videos. I really wanted to invite you in to show you what I do for myself and how I think about ballet. And so I really hope you'll enjoy this. So for today, I'm going to be doing a gentle ballet barre, as well as a little bit of core and posture work. I have been traveling and I've been sitting in a car and driving, and that always kind of locks up my body. And so one of the ways that I think of ballet, especially at my age, is that I want to ease back into it, and I really want to go gently through the exercises. So I invite you to do that with me. You'll see that I am wearing a skirt that actually has swans on it, and that's because the theme of our class is the third act of Swan Lake. Swan Lake is a fabulous ballet, so much gorgeous music. And back at my New York City studio, where my lovely Everyday Ballet instructors are teaching, they are doing this program as well. So I'm going to do a shortened version. This is a gentle barre, which means there will not be multiple like releves. I'm actually just going to do tendu today and not even do dégagé. We'll do rond de jambes, but we won't do things like frappé and grand battement. Now this will be a basic class, but I'm not going to go over what things are. So if all of those terms I just said are not things that are familiar to you, then you should check out the basic training portion of my online program or my ballet basics videos. So that will give you the introduction to these steps so you can know what you're doing. This will be a follow along format, and I'm just doing a single take here. So I really hope that you will enjoy this along with me. I hope we won't have too much other noise out there. We'll see how it goes. So welcome, and let's go ahead and get started. To begin with, I always like to just really settle into my body by doing a core and posture exercise. I really enjoy doing standing core and posture exercises because then I don't have to get up, get down, all of that kind of stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to start, and by the way, this is how we start all of our in-studio classes. We're going to start with the feet nice and wide apart. The toes are facing forward, and we're going to come to our pelvis. And right here, it's just so important to set up the pelvis. Feel like you have a long tail draping to the floor, and feel like you are zipping a pair of jeans. And then up top, you're open, you're soft, the crown of the head is floating upwards. And from here, we just spread out through the arms as we press down through the feet. We're going to take 3 deep breaths here. So in, and exhale, and keep extending out the fingertips, pressing through the ground. And again, in, and exhale, and in, just spreading out through the body, and exhale. And now big, big in-breath. And on the exhale, plant the feet, float the fingertips up, up, up. Release the shoulders and neckline. 3 breaths here. In, and exhale. And in, just feel open across the chest, and exhale, and in, and exhale. And now turn the palms towards one another. If it's available, float the arms a little bit closer together, but release the neckline, release the tailbone, and zip the jeans. Big breath in here. And as you exhale, press down through the feet and lengthen the bottom waist. So align as much as possible the curve. And the important thing here is kind of keep the head centered between the arms and not to get tense in the neckline. 3 breaths here. In, and exhale. And in, and pressing down through those feet, floating through the fingertips. And again, in, and exhale. Now stay way out there. Keep reaching that bottom arm, and then float the upper arm away and returning. And again, away and returning. Long neck. Get a nice stretch across the waist and the rib cage, and returning. And then come back to center. Big breath in here. Exhale, press down and reach the other waist, nice and long. 3 breaths here. In, and exhale, and in, and exhale, and in, and exhale. And now reaching the top arm away on the in-breath, and on the exhale, returning. And again, away on the in-breath, and exhale, return. And last time, away, and exhale, and return. And coming back to center, one more big breath, in, and on the exhale, touch the edge of a circle just beyond your reach. Beautiful, and hopefully you feel that nice stretch, that use of the core, waist and back, and the feet firmly on the floor. Okay, so now before we start our actual barre exercises, I want to do a little turnout exercise because I haven't used my turnout in a couple of weeks. So in this turnout exercise, I'm going to be in a little second position, a tiny one, and I'm going to be peeling my toes off the floor and pressing the heel into the floor. So my weight is going to actually be between the legs and not over to one side. The important thing here is to keep that stable pelvis just like we had in the last exercise. So we're bringing that core and posture work forward into this turnout exercise. Now our music here is from the Palestine of Swan Lake, which means we're in the third act. And this is actually a little bit of an introduction to the Black Swan coda. So the prince and the Black Swan have danced, she seduced him. And this is just sort of a little bit of music before it gets really exciting. The calm before the storm, so to speak. So as we do this, just remember not to grip your barre and not to let your hips shift around. Go ahead and take your position, separate the feet just a little bit, maybe about a foot, one of your own feet and maybe a half more, and standing up nice and tall, zipping the jeans and long through the tailbone. I've got my little cuff here so that we can do our music. Okay, here we go. Placing the hand on the hip, pressing into that heel. Nice and long through the tailbone. And turning the toes in and opening out. That's it. In, out, and once again, reach for the heel. So you'll feel a lot of pressure on that heel. And you'll also feel the inner legs, the backs of the legs. Here we go. In with the toes and open. In, open, lower, point, bring it in, lift it up, keeping the knee wide. Pelvis is very quiet here. Down, up, down, up. One more here. Down, up, down, point, lower, push into the heel. Pressing, zip the jeans, release that shoulder line, and in. Sorry if I'm squinting towards the camera, it's very bright out there. In, out, and last time, pressing down. Make sure you're breathing. And now in with the toes, and open, in, and open, lower, point, and finish. Excellent work. Okay, so let's take it right on around to the other side. That note at the end where it starts to get really exciting, that's right before the coda. So you can see how the excitement and the aggression in the music picks up as the Black Swan is about to seal the deal. All right, so taking your little second position on this side, pressing down through both feet, and light touch on your barre, other hand on the waist. Pressing into the heel. That's it. And just invite those muscles to wake up. And the more you can keep the posture going here, the better. Open and pressing down. Make sure you're breathing, feeling open in the body. One of the things I just love about ballet is the way it kind of opens up the body and the senses. And lower the foot, point. Now bring the toe in. It's okay if you're really close to your barre. Just don't grip the barre. Keep the knee wide. Oh my goodness, I feel those turnout muscles. I haven't done this for a couple weeks. One more. Down, up, down, point, lower the foot. And press into the heel. Lifting up tall. And in and out with the toes. It's really isolating here. And in. Open last time. Reaching down through that heel. And in. And open. In. And open. Lower. Point. And finish. Wonderful, wonderful work. Okay, so now we've done our posture and core, and we brought that forward to our turnout, and now we're ready to do our pliés. I love this plié. This is, again, from the Palestine. We are in Act 3 of Swan Lake. This is one of the national dances, what we call the character dances that are involved in Swan Lake, and they are so fun. The music is fabulous. This is the Russian dance, and you're going to really hear that in this wonderful, the strings in this are wonderful. And it's very slow. So what I'm going to be thinking about here is keeping my knees over my toes and really zipping up and lifting into each plie. At the same time, we'll be thinking about lengthening through the tailbone, and this music has a lot of pride, all of these character dances, because they're from the different nations. They have a lot of pride, and so try to carry yourself in that way of really self-respect and dignity. I love that about ballet. Okay, so we're going to take first position, a gentle first position. Again, go gently. This is a gentle class. This is just to sort of feel where your body is. Here we go. We have a little intro here because this music is very slow and beautiful. Lifting up, open, take your bar, 2 demi-pliés. Sink those heels, press the floor to straighten. Bend, open, and now grand plie. Zip the jeans and replace the heels. Open, and again. Good. Lift the heels, bend to the bar. Long neck here, lengthen the heels, open the arm. Lift up and over forward. Stacking the spine, arcing. Open, lift. See if you can float those fingertips. Second position, 2 demis. Nice wide knees here. Open, grand plie. Push the floor. Open, bend to the bar. And open. Now press through the feet, keep zipping the jeans, release the neckline. Draw the heels up, float, lower, point. That's my favorite part, close to 5th. Bend. Now really make sure the weight is equal between the 2 feet here. And what that requires is that the pelvis is directly over the feet. You don't want it to sit behind the feet. And lifting up and over. Stack the spine. Lift up and back. Open. Arm down, draw the foot. One arm, other arm. And then take that front foot and just land it in first position. Wonderful work. Yeah, that is such a beautiful piece of music. And the smoothness you hear there is kind of the smoothness that you want through your knees. So, and you can also feel that pride in the music and the carriage. And when you hold yourself in that dignified way, it helps everything. It helps mood, it helps posture. So let's do it on the other side. Here we go. First position, gently. Reaching out, floating down, Lifting up, open, take your bar, 2 demis. Push the floor actively through the legs, wide knees, heavy heels. And now smooth through the knees, tall through the posture. Recover, open wide, repeat. Place the heels, open, lift the hips. And now with a long neck, hug it at the core, bend at the waist, lengthen the heels to the floor, open, lift up and over. That breeze is lovely. Coming out and up and back. Open, draw the heels up, float to the center, lower, second position, 2 demis. Press the floor. Carrying yourself like royalty here. Press the floor. And reaching up and over. Long back. And press into the floor to reach away. Through the center. Draw up, float off, lower. Point. Draw it to fifth. Now make sure the fronts of the ankles are tall here. Release through the tailbone and firm in the core. Long plie. Recover. Open. Up and over. Keep drawing up through the legs here. Use the core to stack the spine. Up and back. Open. Arm down. Draw that front foot nice and tight. Tuck the heels, one arm, other arm. Try to soften the face, and stepping down, you can do a little demi-plie to finish. Lovely, lovely work. Okay, so moving right along, we are going to do some tendus. Now, on another day, I'll do some dégagés, but right now, I really just want to use my feet against the floor. I actually find that when I don't do ballet for a little bit, my feet start to cramp, so I really want to wake them up. And that means applying some pressure into the floor and really going through that demi point and making the toes work. Of course, all of that with our beautiful posture, because we're always drawing our core and posture work forward with us into our ever escalating ballet technique. So we just have tendus here. We're going to see some tendu en cloche at the end. When you do that like a bell motion, you want to make sure that you're getting taller to let the heel pass. You don't want to kind of sink and then pick it up. You want it to be a fluid movement, which means you have to lift up to pass. And so think about that a little bit. This music, I basically danced almost everything in Swan Lake, and this is a fun number to dance. This is the Neapolitan dance, and we used to do it with like a tambourine. So there was a tambourine, there's all this kind of slapping and clapping and all kinds of fun stuff. The music starts kind of mellow, and then it really picks up. And so let that excitement be part of the energy that you bring to the combination. Just be sure that you don't stress out in the neck and face and shoulders. You want to keep that energy just right down here and in the feet where it belongs. This is what makes the upper body look so easy. So let's do the Neapolitan dance and do our tendus. Starting in first position, I'm going to stay in first position today because this is a gentle class. Here we go. Lifting up, open, take your bar. We start to the front. Stretch, close. Bend, stretch. Push, point, 2 closings. And open the arm. All of that beside. Stretch, close. Bend, stretch. Push, point, close. And stretch, close. Bend, stretch, push, point, 2 closings. Side again. Bend, push, 2 closings. Now 2 front, close, side, side, close, back, back, close, side, close. Now out, bend, push, 2 closings. Now 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, close, out, bend, push, 2 closings. Front, back. We're going to do 7 this time. Here's 5, 6, 7, close, out, bend, point, 2, tall spine, point, 2, last time, 2, finish. Woohoo, right? That is some fun music. And you know, the secret is to not get too, when we get excited, a lot of times our excitement, just like boiling water, right? The bubbles come to the surface. In ballet, you want to feel that excitement building, and you want to feel it as part of your body, not something that escapes your body all the time. So you want to use your power. And one really clear way to keep your power is to keep the engine of your core working. So when you have a little spare moment to sort of think, am I standing up well? See if you can give your core a little hug. I like to call it zipping the jeans. You want to feel like you're zipping the jeans. All right, take a deep breath. Let's do the other side. First position. Here we go. And lifting up. Open. Arm to the top, to the front. Stretch, close. Bend, stretch. Push, point. 2 closings. Open to the side. Stretch, close, bend, stretch, push, point. 2 closings to the back, close, bend, stretch, shine the heart right out there. Lower, lift, 2 closings. Side, close, bend, stretch, push, point. 2 closings, 2 in each position. Feeling nice and tall, really using the foot against the floor. Like you're wiping the floor with the foot. Side, stay, bend, point, 2 closings. To the front, back, front, back. Last one, close, out. Bend, point, 2 closings. Now 7, 6, 5, 4, getting taller, 2, 1, close, out, bend, point, close, close, bend, point, close, close, bend, point, close, close, finish. Excellent, excellent work. I hope you had fun. You know, this is one that, we're doing this follow along format, so I'm not teaching the whole combination. Also because it's very long, it would take a while to do that. But you can go back and repeat this, and I promise you, as you become more and more familiar with it, it will be more and more fun. All right, so we're going to move on now to our rond de jambes. And again, we're going to keep the legs nice and low here. When you're doing the circling of the leg, the important thing to remember is that you don't want the hips moving around. So it's that isolation. And this is what happens in our ballet technique is we try to bring our posture forward, which means our stable pelvis. So as you're circling the leg, you want to keep that silence in the pelvis and keep lifting up, keep expanding through your posture by reaching through the floor and zipping the jeans. Of course, the whole time breathing, and this takes a little bit of practice. Now our music here, I've also danced this one, is the fabulous Chardash from the third act. It's very stately. This is also one of those that starts really slow and then it sort of ramps up into this very exciting dance. We're only going to do the slow part here. Now something we are going to see is is a bend on the standing leg. So everything's going to be in first, but we're going to bend on the first one. Make sure that when you open that knee is likewise opening to the side so that we don't start caving in. You want that knee to stay over the toes. You don't want it to fall like this. So keep it opening out over the toes. Again, very proud number. So really fill up the chest. Zip your jeans here and try to have a smooth circle of the legs. All right, here we go, starting in our first position. There it is. We have a little introduction here. Reaching out, down, lifting up, open, take the ball. Starting with a plie. So we do one on a plie. Round, straight, round. And again, plie, round, straight, round. And now one, straight. Now we're gonna plie, peek under the wrist, close. And again, straight, round, peek under the wrist, close. Reversing everything. Plie, send it around. Straight, round, plie, send it around, opening that standing knee. And now straight, round, and reach, close. Straight, round, reach, close. And now we're gonna brush off the floor and just bring it in, open, bring it in. Reach, and point, and close. We're back at the beginning. We're gonna do one plie, straight, and now straight. One more straight, and plie, to the back. Plie, round, straight, round. One more straight. Now reach, brush, in, open, in. Keep the knee wide, in, open, point, finish. Beautiful. Yeah, and you can't maybe hear it here, but the music starts to pick up, and that's where you get into the fast, exciting part of this music. So this is a lot of ronde-jambes. There it is. This is a lot of ronde-jambes, and so as you go along, you may notice that you're getting fatigued on the standing side, and that's as it should be, because you are keeping the stability of your turnout and the hips here by using the back of that standing leg. All right, we're going to do the other side starting in first position. Here we go. Reaching out, floating down, lifting up, open, take your bar. And now bend the standing leg. Send it round, straight, round. And again, try to have a smooth semicircle there. And now straight, round, peek under the wrist and close. And again, straight, round, under, close. To the back, plie, round, straight, round, plie. Keep that pelvis silent. And now straight, tall at the front of the hips. Repeat, back, circle, reach, and now brushing off nice and low. Draw the knee back. Keep the knee back as you unfold the lower leg. Point and close. Now we do the second part, so about half as much as the first part. Straight. Again, straight. Peek under the wrist, plie, join, reverse, round, straight, round. Again, straight. Now reach, brush, in, Keep it low. It's all posture. In, out, point, join, and finish. All right, lovely, lovely work. So that is the end of our little gentle barre here. I hope you felt your muscles waking up. I know I sure did. And I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of informal kind of little lessons, the things that I do for my own body, but that I hope will be beneficial and fun for you as well. So thank you for spending your time with me and sharing ballet with me today. And until next time, happy dancing.